and welcome to Read a Cup with Laurie. I'm sorry, I can't do that for much longer. I am not a very attractive ear wearer, apparently. But if you didn't guess, today I kind of want to talk a little bit about Disney. And I just recently put a post up called Stop Making Excuses and Take Your Toddler to Disney. I mean, seriously, stop making excuses for a lot of things in life. But specifically today, I want to talk about trips to Disney. So we just moved to Georgia from Florida and spent the first 3 years, first 3 years of Caroline's life living in Florida, only about an hour and 30 or 45 minutes away from Disney, depending on traffic. So we had the pleasure of being able to be pass holders, which I blogged about how awesome that was and why I recommend it. I'll link that in the description for this. But we also were able to take her, basically starting as a baby. Same with Ella, because we moved to Georgia right after Ella was born. So she actually went for the Halloween trick-or-treat when she was, so that was right before Halloween, so she was only 3 weeks old. So another thing I want to talk about is, as moms, we always say, oh, I would never do that. I would never take my kid to Disney. Oh my gosh, why would that mom bring that infant to Disney? And this is where I'm going to tell you, until you've done it yourself or until you've had kids, don't judge other mothers, because you may surprise yourself. I never, ever in my wildest dreams thought I would be a Disney mom. And I literally spent the last year and a half going to Disney, like basically every weekend. My boss and coworkers used to always say, you're going to Disney again? You guys always go to Disney. And I was like, I don't always go to Disney. But when you really look back at it, like compared to most people, we went a lot, but we were also pass holders. But today I don't want to talk about pass holders. I want to talk about taking your toddler to Disney and stop making excuses. Do it. If you are at all interested or are looking for a vacation that would be fun for a toddler, consider a Disney theme park. Specifically Disney because of all of the characters and the fact that they cater towards that age. Of course, they have stuff for adults and older children as well, but the princesses and the characters are literally like, that's what they were made for. And experiencing that, so that's my number one reason is, all of the characters and princess meetup spots, experiencing that with your toddler is, I can't even describe it in words. It is magical. And it's something I didn't expect. Like, I took my daughter to meet Minnie Mouse, and the first time that she really realized, like, she was almost 2, the first time she really realized like what was going on, she fangirled out, and it was the cutest thing ever. And then when we left Minnie, I kid you not, and I'm going to try to find the video and share it on my Instagram stories. So definitely try to look for that. But she told Minnie Mouse that she loved her. When she left, she said, bye, Minnie, I love you. Oh my God, it was like literally the cutest thing ever. And I know that sounds really silly, but I feel like when you're a mom and your kids do these things, like, it melts your freaking heart. And something that you thought would never be in your line of even interest. Like, I never saw myself as a Disney mom. I like theme parks, but I'm not like in love with them. I hate crowds. I am not a huge people fan, I guess would be the best way to put it. I've gotten better, I feel, as I get older, but it's just not a situation I'm like, oh, let me go put myself out here and do this because this sounds fun. That's never really been my deal. But the things we do for our children, and I was pleasantly surprised. So the character spots and meeting the characters is so worth it. If you have a little girl, take them to Epcot. Epcot has so many princesses. They have a princess in every country, and there's not a ton of rides, so you don't have a ton of older kids, and it's not quite as crowded as some of the other parks. And the food and drinks, mommy and daddy, are amazing. So not only do the kids get what they want, you get what you want. And Epcot, I mean, is if anybody asks me when they have like a young kid, like what park should I go to, Epcot is definitely on my list of recommendations. So the character spots and all that, plus it's also enjoyable for mommy and daddy. The other thing that is really great about taking a toddler to the parks is, unlike bigger kids, they still nap, and when they're tired, if you're lucky, I know sometimes not all kids do this, and my kid is a fighter, a sleep fighter, but if we've been at Disney all day or she's been like super active, she will fall asleep, and she will fall asleep in her stroller, and then you can either park it and relax and take it all in, or kind of just stroll around and get your steps in. But either way, naps at the park, like at the park, are awesome. The other great thing about having a toddler is they're not like, they don't know what they're missing. So like when they're sleeping or all that, they're not worried about missing rides or missing, you know, the character at X time. And you, if you're staying on site and you have an annual pass or a park hopper, or if you just want to go from the same park home and back or to the room and back, you can. So if you are taking a toddler, I do highly recommend staying on site, because you can leave the park and take a nap in your room if you want, and you can lay down with them. And my daughter does not sleep well with me at home, and I love cuddling with her. So when we go on vacation, I take naps with her, and that's kind of my time to enjoy that. So there's that. So that's another reason why you should just do it and take your toddler to Disney. The other thing that is really cool about having a toddler at really probably any theme park, and just traveling in general, is taking in all the sights and sounds. So much of this is new to them, and it's so cool as a parent, just in general, to watch your kid experience, you know, things for the first time. And Disney and meeting characters, and then obviously seeing all the shows and the performances is so cool as a parent, because you're watching them just take it all in. They've never seen this kind of thing before. They've never gone to Broadway. They've never been to a play for most kids. They've never seen these types of puppets or, you know, large performances and parades. The parade at Magic Kingdom, my daughter, when she was 6 months old, loved it. And when we took my baby to the Halloween party, they have a parade, and she basically slept almost the entire time. But when the lights and all the parade stuff was going by, she got up to nurse and was paying attention. And it was kind of cool to just see her response and reaction to that. And it was the same with Caroline when she went at 6 months. Magic Kingdom's day parade is just awesome, and it's super cool for adults too. I mean, it's way cool. The other thing about taking a toddler versus like even big kids, like a lot of people are like, oh, I'm gonna wait till my kid is, you know, 5 or 6 or 8 or even older to go to Disney. And I say, first of all, like, why? Like, they can still go at that age, but there's so much for little kids. But one of the things for parents is there's no rush and there's no pressure. So you can get your fast pass for like 3 Disney characters. Make sure you get the princesses if you have a girl, or make sure you get your son's favorite character, or Buzz Lightyear or whatever. Or make sure you get on the little kid rides, like especially at Magic Kingdom, they have Winnie the Pooh, they have Peter Pan, they have the teacups, they have Dumbo. There's so much. Get your fast passes beforehand, have those scheduled, and then find places that don't have lines, and if it works, it works. The great thing about Magic Kingdom is there's so much to do for little kids and big kids, but they also have things like the carousel, which my daughter loves the carousel, still loves the carousel. Most zoos have them, and when we go to zoos, she always wants to ride. But the line at the carousel is usually not long, so it's kind of like in between meals and fast passes. Take them to do that kind of stuff, or the parades. And it really is no rush, because they truly, you know, little kids don't know what they're missing in the park. So as they get older, they want to do everything, and there is a lot of pressure to do everything, and it is more stressful as a parent having kids that are running around like go, 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 go. But when you have a little kid, you can kind of time them yourself. Like they can be moody and they need naps and stuff, but work around that, and they don't know what they're missing at the park. So they're not going to be like freaking out about not doing a certain ride. And then, you know, this kind of plays on the sights and sound thing, but also just like being there and being present and watching them take it all in. When they're at this age, they want you to be involved and they get excited. It's like, Mommy, did you see that? Or when we go to Hollywood Studios, Caroline's favorite thing there is they have a Disney Junior show, and then they have the Little Mermaid not ride, but it's like a show, and then they also have Beauty and the Beast. And she was obsessed with Beauty and the Beast when she was at the toddler age. And so we would go see that show over and over, and every time she was so excited. Same with the one at Magic Kingdom where you actually get to meet Belle. Little insider tip, if you go to Magic Kingdom and you do the Beauty and the Beast like interactive thing, I forget what it's called, but little tip, have your kid, even if they're small, volunteer to be a part of the performance, because if they're a part of the performance, Belle does a picture and little meet and greet afterwards. So, and I actually have a picture of Caroline at that in my blog, but I didn't mention it in my blog. So that would be a little insider Disney tip for you. So anyways, moral of the story, travel with your kids, take them to theme parks. It seems so intimidating, and especially with babies. I mean, I'm even planning going into the city tomorrow with both girls because my mom's flying in and I'm picking her up and meeting another family member for dinner, so it doesn't make sense to go there and come back. And there is anxiety around like even just making a 30, 45 minute to an hour drive with a baby and a toddler. But the reality is just do it. Make those memories, because that time is gone, and when it comes and goes, you can't get it back. So just be prepared, do your research, and if you think your kid will enjoy any aspect of it, and you can kind of just like let go and relax and take it all in with them, then definitely don't shy away from visiting Disney or any other theme parks, or just traveling in general. We love to travel in our family, and that is one thing we promised ourselves when we had our first daughter, is that we would not change that, and we haven't. So it's harder to travel as you have more. I will, admit to that, but more so financially versus just getting out there and doing it. But we are true advocates of experiences and experiencing things as a family. So take your toddler to Disney if you are able, and if it's financially possible, time-wise possible, make it happen. You will not regret it. You'll have memories that last you a lifetime. And that's the other thing that I hear the excuse, oh, they won't remember it. I took my daughter to Italy when she was, I think, 8 months old, and she doesn't remember it, but I have pictures and I show her all the time. Like, this is when we were in Italy. This is when you had your first pasta and your first gelato with your gammy. Like, I have those memories. My mom has those memories, and it's not all about them. Of course, like, you want it to be comfortable for them, but it's also about making memories for you with your children, and these will last a lifetime for you because you can share those memories with them. Caroline and I talk about Disney all the time, and she has so many memories now that I think she will carry on with her, even though she was really young when we first started going. So that is my advice on taking your toddlers, and no more excuses. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you later.